Hello, Guardians. I am your host, Guardian Larck, and today I will show you physics in Zodia. Let's begin with water and lava, shall we? Boing! Here you have your source, and here we have an example of when water hits the nearest hole. See, we have the source block here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This hole was dug out after the water was placed, as the sign says. I've had this whole thing mapped out for you guys. And if I refill this, it won't do anything about the water, so I can just fill that up, dig that back out, and then pop this down. Since it has its hole, it doesn't bother going anywhere since it's found its nearest hole. However, this is great for making walls of water. You can do this with lava as well. You can have it like cascading down off of your houses, off of your castles, what have you. Over here, we have the same setup. Dug out a hole, water found the source, or the source of water found the hole, and then I dug out this wall here. When you hit the button or a lever, it activates the water. Once it receives power, something triggers the source block to then ignore its previous role and act as though both holes were there to begin with, so it fills down the second water hole. So this is great for water traps, where you have your water finding the hole, and if you have a piston to fill up this space, it won't do anything. It has to be deactivated, I believe, for it to do its thing. Okay, no, the hole has to be filled back in from the bottom up. Up here. Alright, so, yes, okay. So you have to fill up the hole all the way up. It has to be completely happy with its little setup. Over here we have the hole on the ground here, and the source block coming off of a fence post. It follows the same thing I've mentioned before, where it's even placed against other areas. When placed alone, water will seek the single hole without spreading, as you've seen before, and here. Over here, it also works diagonally, like you've seen off of the post from earlier. When placed on the side of any block, it will seek the hole. Just don't do too many sides at once, because it will flood out and it will just make this big square, but it will all end within this little hole here. The same rules apply for even when you're one block up. The source block is here, drops down one, and finds the nearest hole, which is here. Over here is the same thing as before with the button activated water trap. This is dual sides, so you have source block here, the hole right next to it, source block here, and the hole right next to that. And here you have like your doorway or maybe a waterfall area which you would like to have activated. You would need pistons to push everything in to make it think that it's all filled, I believe. And then you just flip the switch here, and it activates it and sends the water down there. Flip the switch here, activates that, sends the water down there, and it floods it all up. This is good for like waterfall doorways that are really cool to spread and open and show some really cool effects. Water is held up with signs as well, since they count as one whole block. So you can have false floors and false ceilings so that mobs don't drop through if you have them 2 blocks deep. So if you have like an ocean above you, you can make air if you dig out all the water sources below it and use signs on top of themselves. So I placed a sign here, and I placed a sign on top of the sign, and then placed a sign on top of that sign to create a false ceiling, and then put one layer of water above it. Mobs will still fall down if they're constantly jumping, so you make it 2 blocks deep of water with signs below, and this works very well. And walk out here, and the water never drips down, doesn't leak. Well, it leaks a little bit, but water tends to be a bit more gelatinous than we think. Over here, we have a water elevator. So you can have mobs that jump constantly whenever they make contact with water. This is very effective for farming for experience, which are these fancy little orbs that fall out of everything you kill, except for peaceful mobs like sheep, dogs, chickens, cows, all of them. All the hostile mobs will drop these. So, when they hit the water, they jump up into the airspace above it, but when they do, they jump up and they get stuck into the second one just above that. So each one is every other like checkerboard design. And they just go up and up and up. And then you can have water over in this corner here, flushing them out to the other side to where they drop down to their death. This is a very hilarious way to kill your monsters, and very effective as well. Water cannot pass through signs, as we've shown, because it's being held up by the water. Or, the water is being held up by the signs. Nor does lava. And lava, you would think, would burn a sign because it's made of wood. But in Zodia, well, this wood is anti-lava. Over here we have our source block on here. And we have the hole that it found first to create a microscopic, or not microscopic, I don't know what it is here, a waterfall. So this can be used like outside of your house, in like a rook kind of design castle tower thing. Just kind of flood them on the outside to have a little waterfall or drainage, to have like items you don't want anymore and have them fall into lava or something below. Over here we have source block is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then it stops. Water only travels 8 blocks from the source in any direction. When it falls, it goes forever. So you can have it all the way up there and just 1 block, go down to nothingness. Water can carry and push items that fall in its current. So it's best to have items drop on the second block instead of the source, because sometimes the current doesn't exactly push it out of the source. So it's best to have the source just behind where the items fall in. Over here you can see the different distances from the hole that the water will seek out to drop point and not spread. And they all can share a single point and meet and not flood each other. So you can make some pretty cool looking designs and stuff, like crosses and other things like that. Like over here, you can have like little mazes and things and little designs in the water. Diagonal source block here, diagonal source block there, and there, and there, and then all finds this central hole. Over here you can see the water has found its source. The water source has found its hole, and I dug out the block behind it. It falls into this pit, and you can basically have a forever pool, or a forever pool where you get constant water flow, and this can also be used to trap mobs into one spot where you can just kind of hit them from afar with a bow and arrow, or smack them with a sword from below. This is very useful for farming and item gathering. Over here you can see that it works. They don't go into each other. They find their hole first and then they spread. Water is also held in by pistons, as is lava. Lava does the same thing as water, only half the distance. So everything you can do with water, you can do the exact same with lava, but you just have to divide all your distance factors by half. If you were to make the same mistake I did, where you would try to use lava and have it go 8 blocks over, it won't even reach the 8th block, because it's slow and more gelatinous than water. So, yes. Over here you can see I have a waterfall made out of one source block. If you do it right, you can have one block of water travel a distance of over 16 blocks. And this can be very useful for item carrying, for farms and factories, just by using one bucket of water. So here you have your source block of 1. It goes over, finds its hole, falls down where block number 2 would be. This then becomes the new source. But because it isn't an actual source, you can't just suck up the water and make it go away, because it's not a real source. This is still the source. So it acts as a new source, and this becomes block number 1 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the new 8th block. This then falls down at the max distance. This becomes the new source block again. It acts as block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you can effectively have an entire water moat system, if you will, to kind of trap your mobs and flood them out of your cities with just a single bucket of lava. And I can show you this as is. Just take this one out, let it drain rather fast. Yep. One block. Just watch this flood the works. Single block of water can go all that distance. This also tends to be a fairly common occurrence in cave systems with one block of water is coming out of a wall and it just goes way down below, and you're just like, where is all this water coming from? And you swim all the way up it just to find a creeper right next to you, and then you blow up, then you find, oh, there's a hole there. And there's more water. Yeah. Don't be that guy that finds that creeper in the hole in the wall. They're bastards. They're evil, evil bastards. And I believe that is everything for my basics and advanced understanding of physics of water and lava. These are just a few applications of what you can do with them. I'm sure most of you other Guardians could find some rather intuitive designs and uses for water with this knowledge. And I encourage you to make a video and post and share what you find with using this knowledge. I'm pretty sure you could make some amazing things with this. Next, I will show you all some cobblestone generators using water and lava. Boing! So, if you like my tutorials and my videos and find them very helpful and would like to click that little like button down there and maybe the subscribe button down there or over there, or up there, or all those directions, please do. It would help me out greatly, and I encourage you to join the main channel, the Guardians of Zodia, which will be hosted on the Oval Table channel, and I would like you to check out my partner's channel, Guardian Icarus, where he will be covering his own tutorials and some adventuring tips and tricks. So, if you could, like and subscribe. Great! Bye! Larck.